Magandang hapon. Nakikinig kayo sa Radyo Kapwa, CKUT 90.3 FM, where all Filipinos are Filipino enough.
Bon après-midi, magandang hapon, good afternoon. You're listening to Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Fran Stoner here on the ones and twos, joined as usual by Veronica Bertiz and Desiree Ruiz. So happy to be doing this with you all since the beginning. We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. So exciting. Actually, maybe before this airs, our anniversary will have already passed. I'm not sure because we pre-record, but really happy to have been doing this for a little over closing on a year with you all. We also have Fenny Cristo, who's been joining us now so that Laura and Justin, our other sound engineers, can get a little bit of a break. And I'm so pleased to welcome Hari Alluri to our recording today. Hari Alluri is an amazing poet, artist, and educator, and I'm just someone I'm really proud to call family, chosen family. So without further ado, Hari, please tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thanks, France. Hi, everybody. My name is Hari. My mom is from Pangasinan and part Ilocano, and my dad is from southern India, Telugu specifically. And I began arriving in North America, specifically on Musqueam land, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh land, South Vancouver, in 1990, and have been slowly and not quite and partially arriving ever since. I'm currently in colonially known as New Westminster, which is Coquitlam, Catsi, and Kwantlen land of Hunkaminam speaking peoples. I come to poetry as a kid who was a nerd before immigration, and like in India where I was at the time, co-started a creative writing after class club, and then promptly upon arrival became disconnected with, among many other things, my love for reading and writing. It kept finding me, and I reconnected with it properly when I was organizing with the Students of Color Collective at University of Victoria, and then through that, like really reconnected with so much community, including the communities that bring me to know you, France, and then by virtue of that, all the folks in this room. I love to write. I need to write. It is at the level of need. It really became clear to me. It became clear to me early in pandemic, without any like judgment at all. There was quite a few poets on Twitter at the time asking each other, how can you write? How can you write in a time like this? And, I wasn't responding to them directly, but what I was doing was connecting with writing communities, the community building artworks, the formed in response to that moment, BIPOC writing party, especially, and the like loosely organized crew of Kapwa, the digital sala, named in a meeting of like more than 50, 60 people, started when one homie, Jason Magabo Perez, just sent out a tweet and was like, I don't know, what do you think? Virtual Filipinx online literary festival? What are we gonna do? And people came together, so like those moments of organizing, and those moments where writing intersects with community are really like, they keep me going in this world, and content warning, I'm not shy to say that I don't think I would still be here if it wasn't for a practice of creation and writing that allows me to stay connected when feelings of just like a constant existential feeling of displacement wants to take over my being. So um, yeah, I'm a poet first. First, I love to write essays. I'm working on fiction. I connect to community through this work, and that's multiple generations of community. And I find myself lately, especially like more and more inspired by like uh, younger Filipinx writers and organizers who are doing things that I didn't think were possible when I was coming up. I think that's a little bit about me. I'm um, partner to Jule, stepdad to Tala, child of Fe and Krishna, uh, you know, direct uncle to Sienna and Nima by virtue of my sister Rina, uh, godfather to Zuleika and Apollo, and many, many, many other, like, Kalayaan, and so many, many nieces, nephews, and nibblings.
What a beautiful introduction, right? Not just about like what you do and what inspires you, but who and how you're connected to different folks in the community. So thank you so much for that. Even the introduction was poetic, right? That's what happens when you invite a poet. And disclaimer, if you ever hang out in person with Hari, he's very real in the sense of like he needs to write. Okay, so we'll be hiking or we'll be grocery shopping and you'll lose him. Like literally, you'll be like, "Where's Hari? Where did he go?" And he's standing in a corner somewhere with his little notebook and his pen and or pencil, and he's like writing because he saw something or something inspired him. So we'll totally just be like, "Where did Hari go?" And he's literally like there. There's always a little notebook. You know how men sometimes have their wallet in their like back jean pocket? Him, it's like wallet notebook, like all the time. So disclaimer: if you hang out with him and lose him, he's writing in a corner somewhere. Thank you for that beautiful introduction.
If I can just like, when I was like not ready to admit that I wanted to write out loud, it was that exact thing that got me back into it secretly. Like I was hanging out with these folks, and we would have these like gatherings on the weekends, and like people would be kicking it, and then like I would wait until the party got into full swing, and that's when I would disappear and go and like try to write for a little while. I mean, at the time, I would burn everything I wrote, like literally, to make sure no one could see it. Like I would write it, and I would show my partner at the time, or like threaten to show my partner at the time, and then like right before showing them, I would burn it. That was like a pattern, and I had forgotten that when I got into writing a few years later, but they told me that story at like the first event of mine that they attended. So yeah, it's like that for sure. It's definitely like that.
You know what? I love hearing that about how you burn it, because like like I'm a poet myself, but I manifest it through hip hop, right? Like like I write,
Right.
and I find that a lot of my process too is just like like I write a lot, but I'll throw it out, right?
Mhm,
Um,
mhm, mhm.
but I just love the act of actually physically burning it, because it's like you're also releasing that energy out into the universe, you know?
I
So
love that. I do need to practice it more actually, because I'm starting to like gather these like notebooks upon notebooks. Because before it was on scraps of paper, and like you be at a store,
napkin.
like, can you just like print me a blank receipt, and do you have a pen I can borrow? Because I don't got the things, you know. Then you get to know your tools as you go, and I emceed for several many years, and I still like one of the ways that I connect back to hip hop is just like when I'm on my commute, I'll I'll put on a jam or an album, and just like in the betweens I'll get back into freestyling, just to keep it sharp, just to be connected. And it's like you say, I love the way that you say you manifested through hip hop, because people need to remember that that's poetry, you know. And we
Rap
got
itself, like they say, RAP
that's
is rhythm and poetry, right?
right, that's right.
So Actually, sorry, I gotta ask you another question too. Just
Yeah, please.
like, based on everything you were talking about, it just like everything just kept hitting me, right? Especially because like I relate to it. And you were saying, I think you used to teach like writing workshops, or
I still do. So for like one of like connecting myself into both uh like hip hop and writing communities came through like primarily working with young folks, um like arts empowerment programs, after school programs, workshops, like 1 week or weekend workshops that we would teach. Hip Hop Hope um comes out of a wider program, like out here on the West Coast, and then like Surrey Urban Youth Project, Leave Out Violence BC, those kinds of connective tissue,
Mm.
and I still remember, like, one of the things I remember that I still teach today, you know I think it might have been Mike D or Nadia who like hit me to this, but we were doing like edits on these kids like raps, because at Hip Hop Hope they get together, they meet, they connect, they practice certain work, like like community building pieces, and like, what do you want to say, what matters to you? If you had a microphone in the world for a few minutes, what would you say? you know and then we make an album with them in a week.
Ooh.
Like some of them make beats, some of them do this, like all the elements of hip hop people are involved in during that week, you know and we were doing edits with these two young women for their piece, and then, like, like before the end of the week, people got to showcase their stuff to each other. You got to do it. And um and we were editing with them, and we were practicing, and it was Vanessa Richards who told me this, like, one of the first times I got on a microphone, and she was like, practice in front of the mirror, and you read you to yourself in the mirror, and you just got to look down at your piece of paper less and less often. And during the parts that you can't look at yourself in the eye, you need to do revisions there, because you're lying to yourself there. You're lying to people. And that was one of the best pieces of revision advice I've ever had. And also practice for memorizing your stuff. You can't seem to memorize it because it's not true.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vanessa Richards, shout out.
Shout out to Vanessa. Hi, Harry. This is Desiree. For those listening, I can listen to you all day. So you're not only a poet, a writer, but just listening to you speak. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, where's the popcorn? I could just listen. Your voice is so soothing and calming, and your energy too is so calming. And I think it's so beautiful to hear you say, I just need to write, and to hear France affirm that, you're just like, it literally like this. There's like this line. What I envision is like there's this line, it like comes from wherever it comes from, and it channels through your fingers. And I think that's so powerful and so beautiful. And I haven't seen that in action, but just to hear that that's what happens for you, and all of these downloads come in, and there's this instant like fast speeding train that needs to pass through you. So thank you for being that channel for whoever's feelings and emotions didn't get to flow through, and are clearly flowing through you.
I just want to squeeze in here for a second, Des, because you and I often have these sort of like decolonization and like spiritual conversations. And I just have to say, Hari manifests this in such like magical ways that blows my mind. Okay.
I'm
So
not surprised.
you know how like when you look up a chakra chart, right? There's like different colors. There's purple, there's yellow, and then it's like purple is your third eye, and then like blue is your throat chakra. So Hari, okay, has an Excel spreadsheet that is divided, and I'm outing him. He's laughing. People can't see him, but he's laughing right now because I'm outing him. But I just want to share because it's actually really, really magical, and it speaks to the power of language, right? And how language can be healing. So he has an Excel spreadsheet that is divided by color of all the chakras. And when he feels inspired, he plugs in the words that he feels connects to all these chakras. So
Wow.
like let's say for example we'll go with blue, which is throat chakra. So they'll be like speaking, voicing, so all the words that link to those chakras, and then that's how he uses it in his poetry. Yeah, so sorry for outing you, Hari, but I just think it's like such a beautiful artistic process. When he pulled it out for me once, I was like, whoa, at first I was like overwhelmed. I was like, what is this? But it's a really beautiful piece of word art. Yeah. So I just wanted to squeeze in and share that beautiful process.
Thank you. I actually just reconnected to it a couple days ago, where I felt called to pull these chakra cards and mudra cards and try to like just I was just feeling like collaging. I've been writing with a friend of mine. Shout out to two friends of mine. Shout out to Maria Bolaños and shout out to David Maduli. I think my sound might have done something. So I've been writing with two friends of mine for the last kind of like month plus. Shout out to Maria Bolaños and shout out to David Maduli. And like after about a month process, like one moon cycle process, Maria Bolaños started to do a couple of started to do these collages of like the work we had been writing for the last month. And I was like, I want to do one of those, but how am I going to approach it? And so I approached it through thinking about seven mudras for seven chakras. And just for y'all, the ones that came up most recently, which I returned to, fearlessness nourishes commitment to awakening inner truth, um, to contemplate spiritual truth. That'll be the seven that came up. And so it'll be like, I like to make these sequences of seven mudras for seven chakras, and we'll sometimes like that one arranges directly from like root to crown, but we'll sometimes arrange them in these different ways, like you said, Franz, to see how they want to communicate with each other.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. So we're coming to the end of our broadcasting. And the two questions we ask all of our guests is, in what ways have you been told or felt that you are not Filipino enough? And what does Kapwa mean to you?
I mean, so for folks in Radio Land, you can't see, and it's less so now. So things are so specific by region, And if you came up in South Vancouver, slash generally in this area, you would see probably less darker skinned folks of Filipino descent. More in the East Coast, a few that I met along the way, And so like coming up, people would just read me as some form of South Asian, And that makes a difference. And so then, even though at the time I'm living with my mom and like the direct community that I'm around through that is her Filipino community, day to day in school, because of, people kick it with the way that they read each other. And we live in like a directly segregated word. Like you can go to a high school. I went to a high school for a workshop one time, and these kids were breaking down where all the kids of either different ethnicities, different genres of being alive, basically, connected to each other or disconnected from each other. So that's one of the easy ways, is just in how I was read, and that makes a difference. And then one of the things that I find most powerful now amongst our generations, the ones that came to us and the ones after, is like the work we're doing to reconnect, is deep. And that work is easier in some ways. Again, colonization hits how colonization hits. And because of the like European fascination with South Asian culture, so much more of it gets to hold on. Do you know what I mean? Like these motherfuckers are jacking that shit. And when they came to the archipelago, they're trying to take it apart completely. You know, they're like, they're taking apart a bunch of things and instating a bunch of things, and they're also like, wow, we really like your your spiritual insights at the same time. And so like so much got to get held onto in a way that we didn't get. So that's a lot of the work right now. And so
Yeah,
that
Hari and I actually did a workshop for the youth, and it was called Transformation because it was like a Pan-Asian youth healing workshop. And there were Filipino youth and there was South Asian youth there, and it was the first time for many South Asian youth present to hear, yeah, like a South Asian kuya talk about mudras, talk about yoga, talk about all these things that usually come out of like a white yoga studio right now, right? So it was like their first experience. So it was really, really, really powerful, right?
it was and it was special for me to connect with them, you know. So those are a couple of the ways. And so like I feel like one of the a couple of the beautiful moments for me, connecting with the communities that connected us, France, like, even like doing Tagalog class. And one time Jills, who actually is who Jule is gonna go camping with right now, like noticed a moment of people not realizing, like you know, dropped some ancestral moment, and then Jules was just like, "Oh yeah, I forget because I see you and I see a fellow Filipino, but other folks may not." When I went to visit my Lola in Pangasinan in like the mid 2000s, I meet my cousin, and this fool looks almost exactly like me. You know what I mean? So I got my mama is like right up in here, and it's really like the dark skin thing that people see and misread. So, just to say that like we span a full range of visual appearances back home and in the diaspora, but like neighborhoods are neighborhoods. So those are one of the ways I reconnect. And Kapwa, like, so as Francis saying, I love the failure of translation because all language is a failed attempt to translate something older than language and what is inside our bodies, and even the greatest poets will say, at my best I get close, you know? And so and so I regularly on purpose have failed translations of language. And so my failed translation of Kapwa is the circles of us. And so Kapwa means the circles of us. And like that is both in this realm in the ways that we connect to each other, you and me here, and then the circles that like I named or you might be thinking of when you think of all the ways that we might connect. And then the circles of us that spiral to the other realm. So Desiree, when you talk about people channeling, like we're not channeling people who aren't in our circle when we channel true.
Okay, so now I know we're like getting short on time, but now we have to take a moment. Fenny, please, can you talk about Dagamuffin and this special connection? Because I think we need to honor him right now when we ask Hari what his definition of Kapwa is, and he's like the circles, right, of connection and love and life and community. We need to share that story quickly, I think.
It's funny because like if for the listeners out there who don't know, I recently moved to Montreal from Toronto, right? And I've just been meeting everybody for the first time. I met France. I've been connecting with everybody, and just recently, like it was the 10th anniversary of my homie's death back in Toronto. John.
Daga muff.
Yes, exactly. Jean-Marc Dagamuffin. I used to rap with him a lot. We did a lot of shows together, organizing the community. And so, on the 10th anniversary of his death, I posted a little like tribute on Instagram. Next thing I know, I get a message from France saying, "Oh, what? Dags too?" And then like we realize, like we find out, like we both know we both knew Dags, and like we were just talking about how like Dags' spirit brought us together, and then even just now, like before we started the show, we were like doing a little small talk with Hari, and yeah, just finding out that he was connected with Dags too back in Vancouver. So just crazy, like like Dags's energy is just like like just bringing us together. Definitely, I love it.
I'm
Love it.
telling you, organizing, mobilizing across realms, right? Veronica, we haven't heard much about you.
I know, but you know what? I think this is the first time ever that Veronica is speechless. Like,
Sorry, I need to take a moment to laugh at that one. Hari, you don't know Veronica, but we usually can't shut her up. So
Yeah,
I think
so-
this
And even
interview
if
is
we're
very
over
powerful.
time, Veronica's like, I know we're over
no,
time,
I will
but I'm
say my piece.
injecting. So you completely just
But it's just so beautiful. First of all, it's just such a beautiful presence. Even if you're all the way from across the country, I just feel so at ease. And I know it was my prompt to ask the Kapwa what does Kapwa mean to you, and you mentioned about the mistranslation of it, and sometimes the beauty or not the beauty of it. And I recently actually released an episode on my own podcast about Kapwa because you cannot translate it, and even if you do translate it in English, it's the others, but that completely in the Tagalog word and in Tagalog language, there's no others. Everyone is your own, right? And so when you were saying like, no, everyone's just connected because in the Tagalog world language, no one is American, no one is European, everyone is just your fellow human being. So when you said that, that's it. Veronica just radio silence. I'm just like, that's just beautiful, and I'm thanking you very much for dropping all of this wisdom, talking about your experiences, your vulnerability, and your inspiration for everyone else who's listening to us in here. I know I didn't speak much, but I think that I give you my time, and everything that you said, even all the way to the talking to the mirror, saying your words, that's me. I'm just like, I don't need to say anything. That's literally what Matilda, my partner, would find me talking to myself in front of the mirror, So I'm just like, yeah, that's what we do. That's how we do it. So again, Hari, thank you so much. I know we haven't spoken, like have like a connection, but there's connections everywhere, as you said, it just circles around. So thank you so much for joining us in here. I know the time difference is also a little bit earlier on your side. So we thank you again for staying with us, passing the knowledge. And for those who's listening and still tuning in to us, you're listening to Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. This is Veronica speaking. Mabuhay.
I've been here for 3 nights, forgetting what it used to be like. Just sleeping and I hear you breathing. Your life is so easy to be in. If we could just freeze time, pretending you always have been mine. The second I leave you, we're all done. Go back to pretending I'm no one. I'm wondering how I'm everything and then nothing. How are you so detached? But I'm out of your sight, I'm out of your mind. Forget what we had. I'm so in the present and stuck in the past. How are you so detached? I don't wanna leave you tomorrow, cause when I leave you never follow. This object impermanent, is it? Cause when it's not there you don't miss it. Swear there was a red string connecting a piece of you to me, but I'm guessing I just misread that. I heard that can happen with contact. I'm wondering how I'm everything and then nothing. How are you so detached? But I'm out of your sight, I'm out of your mind. Forget what we had. I'm so in the present and stuck in the past. How are you
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jan Marvin Reyes. I am a youth leader and community organizer here bringing you Ipa news back home in the Philippines. The article is from the Manila Times with a title, 12 More Policemen Charged in Navotas Teen Slay. 12 more police officers, including the Navotas police chief, were charged administratively for the killing of a 17-year-old boy, according to a Facebook post by the Philippine National Police Internal Affairs Service on Tuesday. This brings to 18 the number of policemen linked to the shooting of Gerho Jamboy Baltazar last August 2. 6 others are facing homicide charges. IAS Inspector General Afelgar Triambulo also recommended to the National Capital Region Police Office or NCRPO the relief of Alan Umipig, the Navotas City Police Chief. These identifies of the 11 police operative were withheld. Upon further investigation of the Internal Affairs Service, it has been discovered that the Navotas Chief of Police instructed the team leader of the operatives to exclude from their reports 11 police officers who were also involved in the fatal shooting of the 17-year-old Jetho Jamboy Baltazar, the IAS statement said. Because of this, the Inspector General Lawyer Alfregar Triambulo has erected charges of dishonesty and command responsibility against the Chief of Police, according to IAS. As to 11 cops, IAS said they will be charged for abandoning the victim and other possible violations of police operational procedures. 6 Navotas City policemen have been relieved and charged with reckless imprudence, resulting in homicide for involvement in the bungled police operation. IAS said that the administrative charges against the 6 policemen are at the summary dismissal stage. Last August 2, Navotas City Police responded to a shooting incident in Barangay NBBS Kaanluran. One of the suspects was arrested while the other managed to escape. Police later conducted a follow-up operation at the river where one of the suspects was reportedly sighted. Baltasar was shot dead by a policeman after he drove into the water when he and his companion were asked to get off their boat. It later turned out that Baltasar was not involved in the shooting incident. The article was written by Francisco Tuyay and published on August 16, 2023. Thank you so much for listening. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. Once again, this is John Marvin Reyes delivering you Philippine news from abroad.
Many thanks to John Marvin for delivering important news from the Philippines, though sometimes difficult to deliver. Justice for Jamboy Baltazar and defund the police everywhere. You're back on air with Laura. I hope everyone had an amazing Pride weekend. Today, we've got a halo-halo of tunes. The song you heard prior is called Detached by Lynn Lapid, and up next, we've got Ibang Planeta by Zild and Celeste by Tot Happy.
wala, di malalasahan sa iba. Napapalipat mo ako hanggang sa mga tala. Sumakay sa sasakyang pang alam ka ang upang matuklasan ang iyong kagandahan. Wala nang salitang kayang ilarawan, kailangang hanapin pa sa kalawakan. Hindi ako makahinga kapag nandito ka. Para akong nasa ibang planeta. Hindi ako makahinga kapag nandito ka. Para akong nasa ibang planeta.
Di kita matitiis kahit na ako'y mainis sa'yo. Ako'y manunuyo pa rin sa mga araw na ika'y matampuhin dahil ikaw ang aking tahanan. Ikaw pa rin ang aking uuwian. Pilit mangitulak palayo, hihilahin ang tadhana pabalik sa'yo. Dahil sa minsan mong pagngiti, alam kong ako'y mananatili. Dahil ikaw ang aking kalungan, ako naman ang iyong sandalan. Umabot man sa puntong kailangan mo kong iwan, ay bibitaw na rin, labag man sa aking kalooban. Dahil ika'y aking mahal. Kung may susunod mang buhay para sa atin, hihilinging makilalang muli. Ikaw pa rin ang aking uuwian.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. You're listening to our Wednesday afternoon Halo Halo mix. If you've been here, then I hope you're still enjoying the Kapwa vibes. These next two songs are called Makasama by Lucas Miguel, followed by Tila Tala by Sid Harta.
Ang mga mata mo'y numiningning, parang lang ako'y nakatingin sa mga bituin. Okay, tamis ng iyong mga ngiti. Ang puso ko'y hindi mapakali. O boses mo hindi ko natitiis. O sana naman wag kang umalis. Pwede ba magkasama ka hanggang tayo'y matanda na, dahil ikaw ang aking mahal at walang iba pa. Ilang taon na tayo magkakilala at hanggang ngayon di ko maintindihan. Kahit araw-araw tayong nagkikita, hindi pa rin ako nagsasawa sa iyong mukha. Okay, tamis ng iyong mga ngiti. Okay, tamis. Ang puso ko'y hindi mapakali. Ang boses mo hindi ko natitiis. Sana naman wag kang umalis. Pwede ba magkasama ka hanggang tayo'y matanda na, dahil ikaw ang aking mahal at walang iba
saluhin mukhang malabo. Mukhang sa panaginip ko lamang posible to. Bakit ganito? Sa lahat ng tao, ikaw pa ang napiling isigaw ng puso. Sino ba naman ako para piliin mo? Subalit ako'y hanggang tingin lang. Kahit anong pilit na ika'y abutin, hindi ka kailanman magiging para sa akin. Kahit anong pilit, di ka mapapasa akin. Akin mo kubli nararamdaman. Itigil ang paligid tuwing ikinaryan at sa'yong paglapit. Nagtataranta ako'y natuturik. Huwag mo naman akong tignan ng ganyan. Hinay-hinay lang mahina ang kalaban, hindi madaling mapaibig sa katulad mo. Bakit ganito? Ng tao, ikaw pa ang napiling isigaw ng puso. Sino ba naman ako para piliin mo? Sa akin. Malabo, malabo, malabo. Malabo, malabong, malabo. Malabong, malabong, malabong ako ang pipiliin mo. Malabo, malabong, malabo. Malabo, malabong, malabo. Malabong, malabong, malabong piliin mo ang tulad ko. Subalit ako'y hanggang tingin lang. Kahit anong pilit na ika'y abutin, hindi ka kailanman magiging para sa akin. Kahit anong pilit, di ka mapapa sa akin.
Thank you, artists, for this music. And thank you, Hari Alluri, for today's interview. The last two songs of this episode are called Kung Tayo Tayo by Raven, and lastly, Ako Na Lang by Zia Kizon. And I'll be right back with your community announcements.
kaya pagkat sadyang wala kang magawa, nagsasayang ng bawat oras sa wala. Hala, na-search mo ng lahat sa internet, naubos na ang load sa kakatext, naghihintay ka lang na may makukulit ulit. What are you waiting for? Call my number, knock on my door. Nandito lang ako. How I wish you let me know. Kung sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, nandito lang naman ako. At kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, nandito lang naman ako. Kung sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, nandito lang naman ako. At kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, nandito lang naman ako. Ako na lang, sana tayo na lang dalawa. Sana malaman mo pala, ako na lang, sana. Ako na lang kung pwede lang, I wish. Ako na lang I guess. Ako na lang ang paborito mong mamiss. Oh yes, hindi ko babasagin ang iyong trip. Whatever man ang gusto mong gimmick, sabay sa jamming at kaduit mo sa gig. Astig. What are you waiting for? Call my number, knock on my door. Nandito lang ako. How I wish you let me know. Kung sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, nandito lang naman ako. At kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, nandito lang naman ako. Kung sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, nandito lang naman ako. At kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, nandito lang naman ako. Ako na lang. Sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, ako na lang sana. Ako na lang. Kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, ako na lang sana. Ako na lang. Sino-sino pang tinatawagan mo, ako na lang sana. Ako na lang. Kung saan-saan ka pa naghahanap, ako na lang sana. Ako na
And you are back with Laura from Hiraya Productions on Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. And welcome to this week's community announcements. Mark your calendars. The Refugee Center is hosting their annual collective art festival, We Are More. Join them for 2 days of captivating artwork, unique products, and hands-on workshops. Challenge norms, reshape dialogues, and celebrate the diverse narratives of newcomer artists and businesses. Immerse yourself in a transformative experience that transcends labels and stereotypes. This is more than just an art festival. It is a celebration of humanity and creativity. Be a part of something extraordinary. It will take place on August 26th and 27th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Refugee Center, located at 1610 St. Catherine Street West. From August 17th to August 20th from 5 p.m., Night Market Montreal and TNT Supermarket are collaborating to host Asian Night Market TNT at 300 St. Croix Avenue in Saint Laurent. Catch performances by artists from Baha'i Collective at the event. For more information, visit their Instagram pages at Baha'i Collective, at Night Market MTL, and at TT_Supermarket. This Friday, August 18th, Centre Green, an independent, not-for-profit community organization located on Tiohtià:ke, Montreal, will be providing an awesome afternoon of children's activities at Stainer Park from 1 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. to celebrate the end of summer camp. All the activities and refreshments are free. For more information, visit their Instagram page at Centre Green. On the same day, Friday, August 18th, the Refugee Center is also hosting Art in the Park, Sunprint and Cyanotypes at Ernest Cormier Esplanade Park in front of the Architecture Museum. The meeting spot will be at the Refugee Center at 2:30 p.m. For more information, check out their Instagram page at the Refugee Center. The following day, on Saturday, August 19th, join us, Centre Kapwa, in partnership with Centre Communautaire LGBTQ+, for our first edition of Kapwa Move, with a community workout in the park, Parc La Fontaine. The meetup spot is 2075 Rue Plessis with personal trainer, Lululemon ambassador, and owner of the Infinity Movement, Heidi Rubin, aka at SweatMTL. Visit their Instagram page at Centre Kapwa and at CCLGBTQ+, for more information. After joining us at Kapwa Move, head on over to support your friend's market at Jardin de la Pépinière, located at 3081 Ontario Street. The event will be from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. and is organized by Terry Reyes at Terry, Terrie.Reyes, Reyes, in collaboration with Bloom Ensemble. There will be a lineup of performing arts and vendors where Hiraya Productions will be sponsoring the event and taking care of the live sound to make sure the vibes are as full as they can be while ensuring support for the performers and the safety of your eardrums. Yeehaw, Benny! Still on August 19th, Pinay Quebec is having a training workshop from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 4755 Avenue Van Horn about the rights of immigrant caregivers and workers in Quebec to recognize workplace exploitation and how to better protect yourselves. For more information, visit their Instagram page at Pinay Quebec, PINAYQUEBEC. On the same day, before you end the day, Night Market Montreal and Mural Festival are calling on artists to create live work on wooden canvases during the night market in Chinatown. This will take place from August 24th to 27th at Sakura Park and Place Sun Yat-sen. Don't miss your chance and visit their Instagram pages at Night Market MTL and at Mural Festival. The following day, Sunday, August 20th, you can end your weekend at Café Kuya in Brossard to celebrate their second-year anniversary from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Buboy Montreal will be preparing a special Filipino barbecue menu for you all to enjoy. For more information, check out their Instagram page at cafe.kuya. And last but not least, Tuesday, August 22nd, Pervers Cité will be hosting a night of short films that transcend borders, disrupt norms, and celebrate queerness in all its complicated forms at Champs Montreal, located at 3956 Saint Laurent Boulevard. The first collaboration between Exposures and Dakira Collectives showcases the intricacies of queer lived experiences across multiple continents, exploring themes of love, resilience, identity, and activism. For more information, visit their Instagram page at Pervers Cité, spelled as PERVERSCITE. And that is all from me. I wish you an amazing rest of your afternoon. Mabuhay.
Magandang hapon, nakikinig kayo sa Radyo Kapwa, CKUT 90.3 FM. where all Filipinos are Filipino enough. Liberation for one is liberation for us all. Tuloy ang laban.